Hello there, I'm Jess Johnson, and today I am recording me doing some personal work around a pattern that I have of waiting to do my own personal work. Meaning I have notes and notes and notes of, they're like here, and then I highlight them in orange in my journal, and those are like, oh, that's something I need to come back to and do some tapping on. And then I never do it. And one of the things, and I noticed that coming up not only on, oh, I'll tap on that later, but also I'll have a great idea for a tapping meditation or a post or an email, like right after a session with one of my clients, and I will send an email to myself, do a note, this would be a great idea to do something with later, and then resulting in like probably literally hundreds of notes in my phone and hundreds of emails, likely even into the thousands, that I never go back and look at. And one of my goals for 2025 is to be able to either work in the moment, like, oh, let it be really easy, like I'm just going to go ahead and do this, or be able to turn that creativity on. Who knows what's going to happen once I tap into some of those greater possibilities. So I'm just going to kind of tune in now, like what's my goal? My goal is to be able to just immediately when I get an idea, do something about it. And when I think of that goal, I can already feel like this resistance and how it's feeling, how it's coming up for me, because it comes up differently. What happened on my screen? For everybody. Is I just feel, and right now it's like pretty low key, but it's just this little bit of like discomfort or impatience. I'll describe it in my chest. It feels like my heart it's beating normally, but it kind of feels like it wants to start beating faster. And what's going on in my head is like, but I won't have time. I'll sit down and I'll start getting sucked in to that, and then I have another client in 30 minutes, then I'm going to have to switch things out and feel overwhelmed. So anyway, we're going to start doing EFT on that thought right now. So even though I have this resistance to acting on my ideas in the moment, when I even think about it, I feel this sense of impatience building up in my chest and throat. And right here, right now, I accept myself and I honor what I'm feeling. I'd say it's about a 5, that sensation I'm feeling. Even though when I think about implementing my ideas right away, I feel this tightening in my chest and throat. If I don't have enough time to finish it before my next thing is due? And why does that matter? And then that'll matter because won't go into my session clear-headed. And I can feel that coach part of me trying to step in here and say, like, no, Jess, like, you know you'll be fine in that session. You always set an alarm and spend 15 minutes getting ready for sessions and, taking care of yourself and clearing what needs to be cleared. But the fact that this is showing up as such a pattern in my life, I just kind of simply like, okay, yes, I know that. I'm going to ask that part of me that Coach Jess brain to go take a seat in the waiting room while I really let this part of me that is really scared that getting pulled out of work is going to be really disruptive to the day. So just know that if you're ever tapping and that's coming up for you, just notice. Maybe put that part of you in a waiting room. The true cognitive shift comes when you know something's changing and then whatever physical sensation is dropped in your body. And I could still feel that pretty strongly. And I accept myself and honor what I'm feeling, even though I'm feeling this resistance to just acting on an idea when I have it. Scared I'm not going to get it finished. That it's going to distract me from other things. Something that's coming up for me is like this fear that around wasting time, like I'll spend time on something that doesn't pan out anyway. And I'm open to exploring this with grace and curiosity. There's this pattern that I have. This resistance to acting on ideas right away. Resistance to stopping to tap in the moment when I need to. And this resistance to taking action on ideas right away. I wonder what I'm scared of. When I think about acting on my ideas right away, I'm scared of wasting time. I'm asking my body to help me understand this. I'm letting it know I'm listening. Why would I waste time? By acting on an idea right away. What if I don't finish? Meaning, like, what if I don't finish that post or that email? And that time could have gone to something else. One thing that's coming up for me is that feels very like expansive is that I guess I used to do this earlier in the year because I'm thinking of all of these times where I actually started doing that. I would start writing an email and I'd start doing it right in Flowdesk, and then I didn't finish it, went on to do whatever I needed to do, and then right when I would need it, it would be like, oh, here's this mostly written email that now I have a final thought to. Isn't that awesome? But I can also, so that feels expansive and that feels true, that feels like a shift, but also I can feel some tightening in my throat. So I'm just going to switch and target that, even though I can feel this tightening in my throat. When I think about sitting down and taking action right away, not caring whether it gets finished or not in that moment, I'm feeling this resistance to letting that be okay. And I'm open to exploring this with grace and curiosity. Even though I have this resistance still. This tightness in my throat. And I think about just letting things be easy. And doing what I can, knowing that I always get to come back to it. And I accept myself and I honor what I'm feeling. Even though I'm feeling this resistance. Feeling it in my throat. this resistance to letting things be easy. This resistance to letting things be as easy as writing what I need to write. Trusting in that moment that that's the thing that needs to happen. And I have this resistance to trusting that. And I accept myself and I honor how I'm feeling. And what's coming up for me right now is this all would be a lot fucking easier if I would just finish my website updates. This fucking website is going to be the fucking death of me. Why am I so resistant to putting this time and attention to my website? Why am I so resistant to this? Because it has to be right is what's coming to me, but that feels fainter now. What if the updates I have are perfect for right now? What if by doing the one single task for today, which is on my list that I keep putting off and off and off, which is just doing some organizing around some of the edits I already have done with my copywriter. What if that just got to be really easy and I just get to throw those updates in there right now? Giving back all this time and energy that I spend resisting not working on the website, not tapping on it, and not just ignoring it. I'm just going to pause here because I definitely feel a shift. And when I think of just like the simple thing I had on my list for today with my website, and I think about committing to that, it actually feels pretty good right now. So I'm going to end this with, I'm going to finish doing the edits on my website to the best of my ability today. And I deeply and completely accept myself and honor how I'm feeling. I'm going to finish that website today, the edits that I have. You can feel a little bit of like, finish it, Jess, really? Look, I'm going to work on my website today. I'm going to do what needs to be done and what can get done today. And I'm going to let myself feel really good about that. And I accept myself and I honor what I'm feeling. I'm going to do what I can on my website today. Oh, it's interesting. Something's working its way out right now. I am going to finish the edits that I have on my website today. I'm going to do the best with what I have. And I'm going to let myself feel good about it. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I'm going to finish those current edits on my website today. I can feel something working out of my throat. But I'm going to finish this. I have got enough done for a homepage that I'm proud of. All I have to do, if I just do one thing today, all I have to do is put those Google edits in the website. And that feels quite doable. So what I'm going to do now is just picture how the rest of my day I want it to unfold. It's 2:25 now. And I have a new client starting at 3. So when I finish this video, I'm going to finish doing the little write-up for it. And then I'm going to do what I need to do a new client setup and just let myself focus on that. It's a brand new client, it's the first session. I always like to do a little kind of prep work and visualization and my own intention setting for that work. So I'm going to spend the next 35 minutes doing that, setting the intention that that session will unfold in a way that will be for the best and highest good for that client. Watching that unfold. And that will take us 3 to 4. Visualizing myself just taking whatever notes I need to, do a little evaluation, jot anything down for the next session. And then, I'm picturing myself tuning in, going into those Google Drives, pulling up those edits, copying and pasting the exact stuff that I know I have already written now. I'm even picturing me going in. Usually I hire somebody to do the actual website updates, but right now I'm picturing me actually going into Squarespace and trusting myself enough to do that just on my own. And so that'll take us up to 5:15, and I have something I need to do at 5:30. So that's going to be my day. Now I'm just picturing myself doing that chore this evening, coming out back to a great dinner that my husband's making tonight. So we sit around with all our cute Christmas lights on, watching a movie together, and going to bed, sleeping peacefully and well. Ready to let tomorrow unfold with grace and ease and pride and a job well done. All right, take a breath there. If you are tapping along with me, I'd love to hear what your shifts are. Anytime, you can always tap along to one of my personal tapping videos. We get something called borrowed benefits, even when we're tapping along with somebody else's issue. And you can drop that in the comments, or feel free to find me on Instagram and send me a DM letting me know. Happy tapping.